Capcom presents!
In the year of 2000 and blah blah, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man to stop the evil desires of Dr. Wily. However, after his defeat, Dr. Wily created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while since the last commentary, and I thought, you know what? Let's give this one a shot. This is Mega Man 2. It's Electric Boogaloo. I've actually recorded this one a few days prior because I was really like. I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's do a Mega Man 2 commentary, and this one is relatively easy to record because this is a very short game, it's only like an hour, so I was like, fuck it, why not, and might as well start with the obvious, like my introduction to the Mega Man series. I'm not as big of a fan of Mega Man as I am with other series like Metroid, or Devil May Cry, or Sonic. God damn it, Sonic, you always define my life. But Mega Man is always a series I've had a lot of respect for. And having recently played through most of the mainline classic games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, The Wily Wars, and 11, I thought it was as good a time as any to replay through Mega Man 2 and do commentary on it. I've known of the series ever since I was a kid, and whenever I was in my emulator phase, that was the series I normally tried to pick up and play, but I would always fail. Like, I suck at Mega Man. And even if and you'll see that this playthrough fucking sucks, because I used the rewind feature a few times, because I'm a bitch. But I still had fun, and I know people are gonna complain, it's like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, this is a very casual Mega Man 2 commentary. What the fuck were you expecting? Professionalism? Get the fuck out of here. But besides that, no. Even though I had never beaten a Mega Man game until I got Mega Man 10 on the PlayStation Network back in 2013, 14. I am not sure, or maybe 2012 actually, but up until then I hadn't beaten any Mega Man game, but I had tried a lot of them. I tried 1, I had tried 2, I had tried 3, a bit, 4, 5 I think was the only one I never really tried, and then 6 I also tried that one. I also tried X and X2, but those were all like test drives, and not really me getting that far. I think Mega Man 2 was the one I got the most far in, because for me it was the easiest, and probably the one I replay the most, because it's just so easy to pick up and play. But besides that, no, I was lucky that I got past the Intro Station Mega Man X. I still have yet to play the Mega Man X series like fully, but it is a series that is in my radar and eventually I want to get into. Not now, because I just finished the classic games, and I want to stop for a bit and go with other stuff. But besides that, yeah, with this game I normally go after Metal Man first, for the obvious reason. I mean, fucking Metal Blades, this weapon is so goddamn overpowered. Like, little consumption of weapon energy, can fire innate reactions, and takes care of small enemies, no problem. Of course, I would go after Metal Man. So in terms of robot masters, my order isn't really that creative. Maybe one day, if I ever replay this game again, which I probably will, I could just like do a little bit of a challenge for myself where I ask friends, I streamed this game to some friends of mine, and I asked them which robot do you want me to take care of next, and I hope they don't ask me for Eat Man first. Oh no, those disappearing, reappearing blocks in Eat Man stage can go suck it. Here's a tip for y'all. Do Airman first before Heatman, so you can get item 2 and go pass over all that shit. unless you're a noob and can't beat Airman. That was the basis for a very good song. I can talk more about that later. But now the stage that we're in is Woodman stage, and a lot of people like to go after Woodman first, and yeah, I don't blame them. It's a relatively simple stage. Has some mini bosses here and there, but it's relatively easy to go to, and it's also very nice looking. In comparison to Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2 did improve on a lot of things that Mega Man 1 was trying to do, especially when it comes to like backgrounds, and I feel like the game in terms of level design is just way better, much more solid and consistent. While in Mega Man 1, there were some moments here and there that I was like, this is annoying, get the fuck out of here. No, I do not like the reappearing, disappearing blocks in Iceman stage, and I do not like having the second Electman fight, because the area is so tight and he moves so goddamn fast. No, this game, no, it's honestly, Mega Man 2, if you haven't played a classic Mega Man game, or any Mega Man game in general, start with this one and play on the normal difficulty, which is what I'm doing right now. It's in comparison to the difficult mode, which is the original Japanese difficulty, the damage that Mega Man does is larger, and the number of pickups that you get is higher. And I think that's pretty much it. Besides that, yeah, it's Mega Man 2, and even on difficult mode, I think you still have a good time. I mean, I did have to play the difficult mode of Mega Man 2 when I was playing the Wily Wars, because that's the only difficulty for that version of the game. But, yeah, no, I mean, but it's still a good time. It's still a good time, no matter what difficulty, because again, the level design in this game is that much more tight, that much better than Mega Man 1's. It's way more accessible. Next up, it's Airman. Oh yeah, those birds. Yeah, there's a cool Easter egg in this game that if you pick a Robot Master and you hold down the jump button, then you get those birds to appear. I did it a couple of times just for the shits and giggles. It does nothing for the rest of the game. It's just a cool detail that the developers decided to put in. Which, speaking of which, I find the development of this game very interesting, because Mega Man 1, yeah, oh, rewind, oh no. Mega Man 1 was, I think, alright in terms of shells, but not exactly what Capcom was hoping for. So, whenever that happens, especially nowadays, you would think that they would just shelve the series. But, no, they decided to let the developers do Mega Man 2 on the condition that it would be on their spare time while they were doing other projects. And the fact that this is considered a peak to a lot of people, this goes to show how much they learned from their lessons from last time, and how impressive this game is. For an NES game released in 1988, this game still holds up, not gonna lie. Like, again, I've talked about it earlier, how this game is pretty fun to play. Yeah, it's Mega Man 2. I guess with a game as popular as this, it becomes kind of hard talking about new stuff, like, oh my god, you know that you did this game on the spare time? Oh, no shit, dumbass. I already knew that. But no, I mean, the reason why I wanted to do this commentary in the first place was because it's a game that I like, and it was relatively short, so why not do it? And also, I had an idea for this commentary, but nah, I don't want to discuss what that idea is. Besides that, no, yeah, I mean, I also, from last time, when I did that Super Metroid commentary, a friend of mine really liked, like, hearing that commentary on his spare time, and while he was at work. So I'm like, that encouraged me to, you know, to be like, hey, maybe I could make these casual commentaries just for people to just chill and relax to. Like, you don't even have to watch this video if you don't want to. If you're just interested in hearing a guy's opinions and just shoot the shit over a video game, then fuck it. Yeah, you could totally do listen to this as if it were a podcast. Also, here's Airman. Hi, Airman. Nanka yatte mo nanka. No, I'm not gonna even try to sing Japanese. I I know a little bit of Japanese, but it's not enough. I'm not even gonna try. And bye, Airman. Bye. See, that's how easy it is. Also, I love that the leaf shield sounds like fucked up the the victory jingle for the stage. And then we get air shooter and here's a message from Dr. Light. Mega Man, item 2 completed. Get your apples ready. Fuck, man, the voice acting in Mega Man 8 is fucking like, it's bad, but it's a funny bad. It's a bad that I laugh to because of how dumb it is. From what I've heard, Capcom at the time of Mega Man 8, and for a good while, Capcom could only afford to get English voice actors that were residing in Japan. They could not get English voice actors outside of Japan, and as such, a lot of the people they got, I don't think were experienced with voice acting in the slightest, and thus we got amazing Mega Man. We can fall to Dr. Wily's hands, or people talking very quietly, like they're in the middle of the night. Like, still not as bad as that one anime visual novel game that was recorded by a family. Like, it wasn't even like professional voice actors. It was like a family, and they all sound super fucking bored. That is legitimately bad voice acting. Like, there's been examples of bad voicing being thrown around, like Link, The Faces of Evil, and Zelda 1 of Yamala, the CDI games. And I gotta be honest, hearing those games, yeah, they're funny. The performances are very over the top, but I wouldn't really consider that bad voice acting, just over the top voice acting. Like, they did their job, they did what they were directed to do, as far as I'm aware. It's just that combined with the shitty anime. Okay, it's not shitty, but it doesn't look that pleasing. So, yeah, made it for very meme-worthy material, and then became popular in YouTube poops and such. But like, in terms of, but it's around the time, around like late 90s, in video games, it was rare hearing like actual good voice acting. I think the most prominent example would be the original Metal Gear Solid. That is an example of good voice acting, but like a lot of other games, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X4, Deep Fear, if anybody knows that Sega Saturn game, Resident Evil, of course, all had piss poor voice acting, and I think that really stems from the fact that either they didn't have enough budget, or they did not put much budget into those. If those games had Japanese voice acting, like in the case of Mega Man 8, they didn't sound better, but that's because I think video games were already much more respected in for Japanese audiences, and were basically treated as just another entertainment industry, rather than games that still had that sort of stigma of being like a toy, at least in the United States. I mean, we Europeans, I don't know. I really don't know if we really saw differently. I mean, because the thing is that a lot of Americans talk about the video game crash of 1983, and the thing is, for Japan, that was non-existent. Like, that was the same year the Famicom appeared, and for a lot of people, that revolutionized the gaming industry. And for us Europeans, we didn't give a flying fuck. We were much more on the computer side with stuff like the ZX Spectrum, and I think the Commodore 64 as well, so we really didn't give a shit much about Nintendo. We were actually more on Sega, especially the Mega Drive when that came out, or Genesis as the Americans call it, and then eventually, and I think Nintendo, at least in my country, wouldn't actually be fully recognized in the home console space until the Wii. Because until then, nobody really gave a shit. Only the handhelds, the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, like, if you talk to people in my country, especially like in their 20s, 30s, they know what a Game Boy is. But if you talk to them about Nintendo 64 or GameCube, they may know about it in retrospect, but the probability of them like actually having one at the time those consoles were being released, no, very little. But coincidentally, no. The irony is that the ironic part is that 2 of my cousins actually own Nintendo 64s, which is pretty funny. One of them actually has a lot of games like Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and then a bunch of sports ball, while the other one only really had Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which is a game I actually want to experience one of these days, since it's now been released on the Switch. And here's me fucking with Rewind just to piss people off. And he had Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which was actually the first time it wasn't the first time I experienced a Zelda game, but it was the first time I actually got into a Zelda game. I didn't beat that Ocarina of Time until way later when I got on the Wii U Virtual Console, but I played for a good chunk up until the beginning of the Water Temple, when I started to stop that session and then I never came back to that. I think they still have that in Nintendo 64, it's just that it's probably being kept somewhere. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting that Nintendo 64. I mean, they're not using it, so why not? European Nintendo 64, yay! Yeah, I guess, I think I lost track of myself, oops. Oh well, Bubble Man. Bubble Man was, during my first playthroughs of Mega Man 2, during my emulator phase, Bubble Man was normally the guy I went first, because he was like the easiest one for me, and, yeah. I mean, he's still pretty easy, and in stage, despite the abundance of spikes, I think if you're careful enough, you can go for it just fine. Just be careful this last section, those crabs can fuck you up. Scary. Says a guy whose zodiac sign is Cancer. Yeah, no, that's how I experienced Nintendo 64, and we didn't really care. We Europeans didn't really care about Nintendo stuff back in the day. Here's Bubble Man. He doesn't walk, he only jumps. And with metal blades, yup, he died. Oh, Bubble Man. And his weapon isn't really used that much. I mean, it's the weakness for the upcoming boss, Heatman. Is the weakness for the final boss, and it is useful in one of the lively stages to see platforms, like invisible platforms, and you can use it to like detect where the false platform is, so you can jump over it and not fall into the pit. Yeah, Heatman, don't do this stage first, please. Unless you really want to memorize reappearing and disappearing blocks. Which, I think these might be a bit worse than Iceman, because it's a long stretch, and there's a giant bottomless pit over a good chunk of that stretch, so get item 2. Besides that, fun fact about the stage is that the music of this stage was remixed and was used as the song for the Mega Man 2 commercial in Japan. Which, by the way, speaking of Japanese versions of these games, starting with Mega Man 2, they started getting Japanese subtitles. So for this game, it would be Dr. Wily no Nazo, which means the mystery of Dr. Wily. For Mega Man 3, I think it's the end of Dr. Wily. Mega Man 4, I don't remember. Or maybe, like, new, I don't know, it was something new. And then Mega Man 5 was Blues' Trap, because Pearl Man's name in Japan is Blues, which I actually kind of prefer, since it continues the music motif, and also makes sense considering that he's supposed to be the prototype to, like, Mega Man and Roll, and blues, as a music genre, is often cited as the precursor to rock and roll, which is really fitting. There's also Mega Man 6, which is the greatest battle in history, Mega Man 7, which is Showdown of Destiny, Mega Man 8, which is Middle Eaters. That's the easiest one to memorize, because that one is actually written in katakana. They literally say Metro Heroes, so that's easy to remember. Mega Man 9 and 10 I actually don't remember. And then Mega Man 11 is Gears of Fate, which is very much appropriate. Here's me using item 2 to cross this gap because I am not doing that shit. Bye. Fuck you, level. That's an extra life I'm never getting. Who cares? I don't need it. I'm using rewind anyways. Fuck that. Here's a tip for these guys. These temperatures on the mechs, use air shooter to take down the mech as soon as possible. It will be useful for later stages, especially some of the wily stages. Well, going now into the next boss. It is Hitman, and I mean, his boss is kind of like shoot the bubble lead, jump, shoot the bubble lead, jump, shoot the bubble lead, dead. And in normal difficulty, these bosses with their weaknesses go down really fast. So, yep, that is easy. But I think we have 2 Robot Masters left. Yeah, I still have yet to do Flashman and Quickman, so yeah. Atomic Fire is also the weakness for Wolfman, but like that Metal Blade. I use the Metal Blades a lot, can't you tell? Mega Man, I am one completed. Get your weapons with it. Okay, Doctor. Well, speaking of voice acting in Mega Man games, I mean, I think they got better over time, especially after X7. Like, X7 was like the last one that was like bad, with burn to the ground, or I'll make X and 0 mine, or no, wait! No, with Mega Man X8 and Command Mission, I think they started getting better with voice acting. And Mega Man 11 also had very good voice acting, which, by the way, I think Mega Man 11 might be like, I want Capcom, if they do another classic Mega Man game, which at this point is like, we don't know if Mega Man 12 is like what they want to do now, or if it's something like X9 or something completely different besides collections, because we just got the Battle Network Legacy Collection recently, and I've never played one of those games, but I heard a lot of love was put into that collection. They actually brought back the Japanese and English voice actors for Mega Man.exe from the anime to record new lines for the menu, and that's really fucking cool. But besides that, yeah, I really don't know what's in the cards for Mega Man in the future. But I guess for now, I guess there's a ton of Mega Man games to enjoy, so I will do just that. But it's Mega Man 11, like, I want that cast to return if they ever do a new classic game, because I think people like Erica Lindback as Roll, Doug Stone as Dr. Light, Keith Silverstein as Dr. Wily, especially him, are great. Bow down to the genius of Dr. Wily. Like, I love that shit. I love that. There was also like Ben Diskin as Mega Man, which I mean could be a bit controversial because supposedly he has the AI of a 10-year-old boy, so he's supposed to be young. But I also like, I think over time maybe you mature. I don't know. It's also like, it's one of the better voices for Mega Man. I don't want the. No offense to Ruth Shibarashi, the voice actress for Mega Man 8, but I'm not a big fan of her voice. No, like that sounds like a girl, not a young boy, like girl. So I'd rather have Ben Diskin. I've heard Mega Man Powered Up's Mega Man voice, and I remember that one was pretty good, but it's hard getting child voice actors, so might as well get someone like Ben Diskin, and I think he did a good job. That's my opinion, though. It's just my opinion. But yeah, no, Keith Silverstein and Dr. Wily, please. No, that was great. Besides that, yeah, no, I mean, I guess an X9 would be, it's what people want the most, an X9. Because I think X8 ended on a cliffhanger. Which is kind of like, people are just waiting for the conclusion of that. Item 3 completed. Get your weapons ready, Mega Man. I did for 1 and 2. I'm not gonna finish it for free. And now the last Robot Master, Quickman. A Robot Master that probably has one of the more annoying stages. because of those instant death lasers. You can use Flashman's weapon, the Flash Stopper, to stop it, but the Flash Stopper is also the weakness to Quickman itself, so might as well save the weapon energy. So this one will take a little bit of trial and error, or rewind. I mean, I do appreciate. I find it weird that Capcom added the rewind feature for like the first Legacy collection, but they didn't add it for any other collection. Although they still added like easier modes, like there's Rookie Hunter mode for the X collections. There's the checkpoint systems in like the second Legacy collection and the Zero ZX Legacy collection. I'm not sure about Battle Network, but it probably has some easier options as well. But yeah, it's just kind of weird that they never brought the rewind feature back. Maybe it was more difficult to do on more modern games. I don't know. But I do find it interesting that these collections they are a good collection, but they did miss some spin-offs that some of the previous collections included, like stuff like Mega Man Battle and Chase, or the arcade games, the arcade fighting games, which they did include in another collection, the Capcom Stadium, the second Stadium. So you could, or at least there's that. But besides that, I mean, Mega Man Battle and Chase, you can't really play that. Mega Man and Base, you can't really play that. And that one really needs a rewind feature because no, I am not playing it without it. They call me a wuss however you want, but that game is fucking hard, and I know. Like I test drove that game once, and I made it past the intro stage. Did not beat Coleman's stage. Nope. So not even trying much. I just want to experience it. Leave me alone. But besides that, yeah, I guess they could do a spin-off. Oh, the Game Boy games as well. Yeah, I guess they could do like a spin-off collection in the future. But I think what people want is either Star Force or Legends in terms of collections. Of course, people would rather just have a new game at this point, and then they do more collections. But we'll see what Capcom feels like. They did do, they were asked about the future of the Mega Man series recently, and they did say they were actively considering it, like how they would go forward. And I mean, with so many sub-series, so many series of Mega Man, I would also be like, okay, where do we go from here? But I guess the answer, I'd say now more than ever is obvious. People want an X9, and that should be the priority. I mean, after Mega Man 11, maybe that was one of the things that we were considering doing, but then, you know, a certain pandemic decided to appear and rear its ugly head, and then it fucked up with plans from everybody. So I guess, and also because Mega Man is not as important as stuff like Resident Evil or Street Fighter, it doesn't have as much priority. I mean, Mega Man is technically, I think, I am not sure, Capcom's mascot, but the thing is that I'm never sure about that because I've never actually got a source from anything from an actual concrete source that Capcom was or still is Mega Man's like Mega Man is still Capcom's mascot, you know. Honestly, I'd see some more like Street Fighter, maybe Ryu is Capcom's mascot, or maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Although Mega Man is like the more quote-unquote kid-friendly, especially classic Mega Man, so maybe. Also, we've reached the Wily stages, and it's I love this song. I mean, I know it's been documented to hell and back that this song is really great, and yeah, and it's great. Like you may not like it, and I get it, but like it's a great song. It's a great fucking song, and I very much appreciate it. Since you now have all the items, the game does make you use items 1, 2, and 3 throughout the Wily stages. I use item 3 to make a sort of escalator to get Pi, and hopefully you do not waste weapon energy fruitlessly. Hopefully, The game does give you some pickups, as we're seeing right there, but be careful. Just be careful with your weapon energy when you're using these items. Yeah, so item 3 is an escalator. Item 1 is a hover platform. And item 2, as we saw earlier, is sort of a like a rocket jet that allows Mega Man to just zoop. I don't think these items would ever come back in a Mega Man game because they got replaced by Rush in Mega Man 3, which just has more charisma. It's like, it's a robot dog! Very unique. But yeah, this is really good. Although, it would have been interesting it would be interesting if they ever did like a remake of Mega Man 2. It's one of those games that's like very much like good, so maybe you wouldn't want to remake it, but like they were gonna do a remake of Mega Man 2 if the first powered up game actually sold well, which didn't because it was stuck on the PSP, and the PSP I'm not sure PSP players really were cared about a remake of Mega Man 1, so it just kind of got left in the dust. I do want to play that remake one these days, just don't know when, because I found out that physical copies of the game are actually kind of expensive, especially PAL copies, and that's kind of rough. Although the game was made available digitally, but only in the Japanese store, although for a very cheap price. So, do you guys know that it was called Rockman over there in Japan? It's literally Mega Man, or Rockman. Kind of rolls off the tongue, but it's also like, why say it twice? I guess because it's twice the Rockman? I guess? Twice the Rockman power. Woo! And with that, we finished the first Wily stage. And that was the Mecha Dragon. His weakness is Quick Boomerang. And, oh yeah, I guess I should have already said this. But if you're sensitive to, like, epilepsy, to, like, flashing lights, please do not watch this video. Or just listen to it. Because this game, it really is bad. I'm only doing this warning now. But, if you are sensitive to lights, yeah, don't watch the video. This is... I'll probably put this in the description as well, so that people can at least have that heads up. Like, I hope you're not prone to seizures because of that. But besides that, yeah, we have the second wild stage, and I haven't talked about the energy tanks. This was a thing that was introduced in Mega Man 2, and they're, my savior, my hero, because they allow to fully refill your life energy on the spot if you just pause the game. And in this game you can only hold up to 4, but like it's really good for whenever you're in a pinch and you need something to refill you. Although I think like having being expanded to the ability to being able to carry 9 in future games would be great. Weirdly enough, Mega Man 7 is limited to 4, although you can also get weapon tanks and special tanks, I believe. And in Mega Man 8, there's no energy tanks. In Mega Man base, there's no energy tanks, which really sucks for that one. And Mega Man 11, you can only hold up to 6 energy tanks, but then you can buy an upgrade to let you carry 9, which I find weird, but 6 energy tanks is also not much of a big restriction, I'd say. Unless you're playing on one of the harder difficulties, so... I don't know. I just find it weird that they limited that. But, you know, having just replayed Mega Man 11 recently, it's interesting how many upgrades you can buy from the shop. Although I wish that Mega Man 11 was also kept, like, the exploration aspect of Mega Man 7, because I really enjoyed that about Mega Man 7. Like, the levels were a bit shorter than normal, but you could, like, find alternate paths, you can, like, and you can, to find, like, hidden goodies. And I really appreciate that about Mega Man 7. I wish they had kept that in Mega Man 11. But Mega Man 11 still has really solid level design in my opinion. It's a really fun game to play. And I really like the special weapons in that one. Oh, here's the next boss. I forgot the name of this guy. He's weak to metal blades. Ah, flashing lights. Go away. No, don't. Okay. Woohoo! Mega Man did it once again. And now that we're done with the first 2 Wily stages, we have a different song coming up, which is much more eerie in retrospect. Woo. It's like I'm not sure what the illusion is called, but there's like an illusion in audio that makes it so that it constantly goes more and more high pitched. I think I think this does go more and more high pitched, but there's like an illusion in audio that like it's faking to be high pitched. It makes it feel like it's going more, the pitch is going higher and higher, but it's actually not. And it's just making that way just to trick you. This is this is Wily Stage 3, and there's a bunch of spikes. Woo! Yeah, just be careful with this. I remember, I'm not sure if I've seen people die to this, so it's just a matter of being careful. Besides that, these later Wily stages, I wouldn't say they're very complicated. I mean, they do grow in difficulty as you go along. I mean, there's a boss that I really do not like from these stages because of a specific thing, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Oh yeah, in retrospect, Wily Stage 3 is actually pretty short. Huh. Time to use... This is the Guts Crusher, I think? Or Bulls, I don't know. And this is funny because, like, in one of the Wily stages in Mega Man 1, there were a bunch of statues of Gutsman. Now we have a boss that looks like Gutsman. Gamma in Mega Man 3 looks like Gutsman. In Mega Man 7, when Wily takes the robots from the Robot Museum, he takes Gutsman. Man, Wily really fucking loves Gutsman. Holy shit. Ta-da! It's Gutsman. He probably really enjoys that ass. I mean, a man gets lonely after a bit. Come on. This is Wily Stage 4, and I think this is the last full stage for the Wily stage, because after this we'll have the boss rush, and which is like a tradition that, I mean, was already kind of a thing in Mega Man 1, but you didn't fight all the robots back to back, and they were in a specific order. While starting with Mega Man 2, they would put you in with a bunch of other warp places for you to go to, just like your boss, and just basically you fight the bosses back to back. I mean, because we already saw the bosses, I'm not sure if we need to see them again, but I mean, it's a boss rush. I mean, why not keep it, you know? I guess. But yeah, besides that, oh yeah, this is it's probably the slowest section of the stage, where you have to wait for this platform to carry you all the way to where you need to go. And here's a tip for you: do not drop down the stairs. Keep being on the stairs so you can actually land on the platform. In like later screens, if you let go, you'll go to a spit of spikes and die. So might as well say that. I mean, Mega Man 2 did do improvements to Mega Man 1's level time, but there's still a few things here and there that if you're not careful enough, you will fall into. Yeah, guaranteed. Nobody saw that. Yee! Going back up. Going back down. And this is the one where the developers are like, haha, you have to wait, fucker. Oh, I need to drink water. I mean, its commentary is not nearly as long as the Super Metroid one. This is not even an hour. But talking for a bit after a while is just that's nice. And by the way, it's in the at the time I'm recording this, it's the middle of the fucking summer, and here in Portugal, it's very hot. And just so you guys don't have to hear my fan, I've turned it off, and right now I'm doing okay, but after this I'm gonna turn it back on because, oh god, I don't wanna I don't want to suffer with this goddamn heat. Jesus. But besides that, yeah, I guess this stage is relatively simple. But we're coming up on a boss that I really don't like, and a lot of people who play Mega Man 2 don't really like either, because it pretty much requires you having a full bar of Crash Bomber weapon energy. If you wasted it beforehand, I hope to God that you have grinded out beforehand, because it will bite you in the ass if you're not prepared for it. Or what people can do is blow up the walls. If you die, you can, like, the walls will always be broken, so you can come back and just use the Crash Bomber energy and just finish it off. But yeah, and just pretty much requires you to use item 1 and 2 if you don't want to waste, if you want to be as efficient with your Crash Bomber energy as possible. Also, I can't see Mega Man. Yeah, I guess even if this game actually improves when it comes to overall presentation by having much more interesting backgrounds, there's still a lot of sprite flickering, and I mean, it's not bad or anything, it's not game breaking, but it's distracting. Also, I'm using rewind here just to see if I could have pulled up something that I've seen in a few speedruns where they are able to blow up both of those walls at the same time, but I don't think so. So after a while, I'll stop it. I'll just beat this boss the normal way. Still, I don't really like that you need to have full Crash Bomber energy to be able to beat this boss. Hopefully you have a max out on that. Besides that, when you know what you're doing, this boss is okay. I hope you have an energy tank or two, because it's pretty hard to dodge. Yeah, those attacks right there. They're a bit of a pain in the ass. And yeah, I guess I don't really have much to say about that. But after this, we'll go into the titular boss rush, and then the final few bosses, and that'll be the ending of Mega Man 2. Which, I mean, yeah, this game just kind of goes by. I've considered like maybe doing commentaries for Mega Man games, but honestly, if I ever do another commentary, I would probably do. I mean, I have a game I actually want to do a commentary of. But it's not Mega Man. It's just another franchise. I won't say what it is, but if you're curious, you'll see it in due time. Oh, by the way, when I'm recording this video, I have just released the PDI video, and I hope people are enjoying that one. I'm not a really big YouTuber channel, but I hope people are like enjoying that one, because it's a company that not a lot of people talked about, and it interests me personally. So I wanted to make a video about it, and nobody really on YouTube is talking about them, so why not? Alright, it's boss rush time. Mega Man, time to take down all those robots. Aren't you ready? Yeah, I think it's ready. Wait. Oh god! I don't know what the fuck was that. I guess there's no boss rush. No boss rush. Go straight to Wily. Oh, Mega Man, I forgot to stop that goddamn plane from entering my fortress. Wow, you're really bad with airplanes. Yeah, darn you, Mega Man. I'm fleeing. Darn. And this is a bit of a twist that Mega Man 2 has compared to the first game, is that there's more after the final boss. There's a hidden underground sequence. Ooh. And there's no music. Whoop. The only thing that can damage you here are those drops of blood. I don't know what that is, but I think it's toxic, so don't touch it. I think it does a lot to your health bar, so don't touch it. Alright. Wily is the Lamau! A Lamau! Oh no! It's an A Lamau! So Wily was secretly an alien all along. And I mean, he does a lot of damage, especially if you touch the alien itself. But besides that, his weakness is Bubble Heads, which is interesting. And it has a very simple pattern. Don't touch it, and you should be good. It's just very what the fuck, just an alien period. Flashing lights. Darn you, Mega Man! He was using an hologram. That makes more sense. But why the fuck do you choose an alien now? Ugh. Damn it. Oh. Wee! Please forgive me! Alright, Megan. Alright, Dr. Wily. As long as you don't do it again, I'll leave you. And then Mega Man just leaves him. No, really. He just leaves him. I find it baffling, just like Mega Man 1, how he just leaves him. But I guess it happens. No, I mean it. What am I saying? No, I'm sorry, I got distracted by something. Yeah. Although I will say, I really like this credit sequence. It's somber. I mean, I guess because I've heard a theory going around. This is maybe the developers saying that this is our probably their last shot with Mega Man. We gotta do it right, and because if this game failed, then Mega Man would probably be shelved. I mean, if the first game was already not doing that great, then the second one wouldn't do that amazing either. But thankfully, Mega Man 2, for a good while, was the highest selling Mega Man game. And it pretty much saved series, and then a bunch of Mega Man games came afterwards. Holy shit. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe there's like a bit of Mega fatigue, if you know what I'm saying. Jesus, especially in the 2000s, like there was a lot of, like, classic Mega Man might have not have appeared that much during the 2000s, but only like at the end of them with 9 and 10. But god damn, there was Mega Man Zero, Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Star Force, Mega Man ZX, Jesus, and then there were some Mega Man X games at the beginning of the 2000s with X7 and X8. It was a lot, and because each game, for the most part, was not really changing that much from what happened in the previous game, I think people just got fatigued. But then we went through a period in the 2010s where there was no Mega Man games. Some of them got cancelled, and then nothing. Absolutely nothing. But besides that, to wrap this thing up, because we're at the credits, Mega Man 2, it's a great game. I really enjoy it. I don't have much to say about it that I haven't already said. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a smaller one compared to the other commentary I've made. Although, of course, because of the nature of the commentary, it is longer than that PDI video that I released recently. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed me shooting this shit. And thank you for providing this great game, Capcom. And thank you for watching.